Here it is. I've just gotten my review unit from Samsung of the Galaxy S20 Ultra 5G. Let's unbox this baby. Now I've got this X-Acto knife here because this is normally what I would use to take off the security tape from a device, but Samsung has already done that for me because this is a review unit. So I'm just going to unbox what I have in front of me here. But first I want to take a look at the outside of the box. Now lately these Samsung phones have looked pretty similar from generation to generation when it comes to the box design. You've got usually the name of the device on the top. Sometimes you have a little gold seal or a little bit of a pattern. I immediately prefer the Galaxy Z Flip box because I thought it was a little bit more interesting, but Samsung has done a little bit with design. It's kind of cut off the S and the 20 on either side to give it kind of a shadow feel. So it does feel a little bit more modern. And we've got the gold foil S20 Ultra 5G at the bottom, which is telling you exactly which of the three Galaxy S20 models this is. Other than that, the box seems pretty typical. So we're just going to go ahead and shimmy up this lid. Now, the first thing that I immediately notice is there's no protective wrap around this device, and that's because, again, this is a review unit. When you go and buy one from the store, when you get it delivered to you, you will have that wrap, and you might have a little bit more information as well. Usually we see right up top some warranty information and other literature. Maybe there's some down there, but I also don't expect to see it because this came directly from Samsung. There's a little plastic tab here, makes it pretty easy to lift out and set aside. We will come back to the phone as always, but let's dive into the rest of the box. In case you forgot who made this phone, it's Samsung. First thing that leaps out at me is this super fast charger that is in here. This is a 25-watt charger, the same that we saw in the Galaxy Note 10 Plus. I've used it and it's great. It will charge up the phone really quickly, and since there's a huge battery capacity on here, this is definitely going to come in handy. The phone will also work with a 45-watt charger, but you have to buy that aftermarket. This is what you get. And moving along, we've got a cable. It is USB-C, which is exactly what we expect. No surprises there. And of course we have the AKG headphones. Because this is a premium phone, it costs $1,400. You get a braided cable with your headphones, and you get extra ear tips just to make sure that you have a comfy fit. There's one last little tidbit at the bottom of this box. Don't know if there's anything in here. It might just be a spacer. I think it is because I'm destroying it to open it. Ta-da! Cardboard, just what you always wanted. Samsung loves to hide little things in the lid, and true to form, here we go with a pack that has the SIM card ejector tool. Even though there is an option for eSIM in the US at least, you still have a physical SIM card. You can use this tool to pop it out when you want to change SIMs. Taking a look inside, there's also some of that literature that we discussed. So that's it. That's everything that comes in the box. If you were looking for the Galaxy Buds Plus wireless headphones, sorry, they're not in there, but depending on where you live, you may get them if you were able to pre-order them along with the S20 Ultra. Okay, so let's get all of this packaging out of the way, and we're going to take a look at the phone. So here we have the Galaxy S20 Ultra 5G. This one is Cosmic Gray. Unfortunately, there are only two colors, Cosmic Gray and Cosmic Black, for this model. I'm going to peel off the protective film. Looks like there's just one on the back. And on the front, I can immediately see that there's a screen protector around the edges. Nothing is going to happen if you peel this off. It will not destroy the phone as it did for the Galaxy Fold. But Samsung does put this here on purpose for you to use to add just one extra layer of protection from the elements. On previous Samsung phones that I've used, eventually over time that will get kind of scratched up and gummed up, and at that point it's okay to just take it off and use a different kind of screen protector if you want. I just immediately feel that this is pretty heavy. This thing weighs over half a pound, so it is a big phone. And every time I see this in person, I'm just alarmed and amazed at how big this camera module is on the back. You do have 4 lenses, including a telephoto lens, that's the square-shaped one here, and including a 108 megapixel main camera lens. Part of the big deal with this, and you can see it if you just tilt the phone perfectly into light, it says Space Zoom 100x. That is huge zoom. And with the S20 Ultra, this is Samsung's way of making photography paramount. So out of all of the 3 S20 phones, this is supposed to be your photo beast. Over on the front, we also have a 40 megapixel camera. And there we go. Now it's booting up. So the phone looks, I guess, sleek enough. It sort of reminds me of the Galaxy S10 from last year in terms of the sides being rounded. But I don't find it as elegant or refined as the Galaxy Note 10 and Note 10 Plus.
Let me help you get set up more easily by guiding you through the...
Okay, volume off immediately. And we can just skip through all of these menus, accept terms and conditions, pretty standard stuff, skipping everything. Because I want to open up the camera app. Oh, that's kind of a new and interesting wallpaper for Samsung. All right, let's get immediately into that camera app because what I want to do is take a look at what 100 zoom looks like through the window of my office. Let's go. All right, so to engage zoom, you just pinch and zoom. It's pretty easy. And I see a Deloitte office building sign over there that's got a green dot, and that's what I'm going to focus on. And the more I zoom in, the harder it is to control where the focus is. So I think it's actually easier for me to hold still and just to use these controls on the side to get a little closer and closer and finally to 100. There's that green dot. I can't even see it from where I'm standing, so that's pretty impressive. But if you're going to use 100x zoom, I think you need to use it on something really specific. I think in most cases you're probably going to wind up using 10x zoom for a picture that you're going to wind up sharing with somebody. My initial thoughts, once again, I just cannot get over how big this bump is. However, if you do put a case on it, which I always recommend because you want to protect your $1,400 investment, then I think that this bump might not be as noticeable. And I think Samsung's hoping that you're going to love the picture